So I'm pretty much finished with replanting the polytunnel. I really like to make this polytunnel work hard. You know, I like to get as many successions as I can through it. And pretty much everything that I grew over winter is finished now. So I'm replanting as quickly as I can. And then obviously I need to there's a short window really between February, when I start replanting, and the middle of May, when I kind of start replanting again with all the summer crops. And then summer crops are in here from May until October sort of time, and then everything gets replanted again. So it's quite intensive in here, and I absolutely love it. I thought I'd show you around, talk you through the different successions, and where my thinking might have changed a little bit, and some experiments that I'm looking forward to trying this year. So this is the view that I'm enjoying right now, and you know, to be honest, there's no place I'd rather be than sitting in this polytunnel on a day like today. It's a bit showery, but enough sunshine to make it worth coming out. And a lot of space, you'll notice. And that space is mainly for potatoes and courgettes and early French and runner beans. And it soon fills up. And we're going to start in that corner. This bed has had winter miner's lettuce in it all the way through winter. I've just taken it out and replanted it with spinach and just a few lettuces down here. The spinach, it's underneath this trestle table, so it'll be a little bit shaded, but I don't think the spinach will mind, and I've planted it quite intensively because I primarily want this for baby leaf spinach, because I've got plenty of spinach, mature spinach, for cooking. And as soon as this finishes, I'll probably have lettuces around the outside, and then right in the centre here I'm going to have a cucumber, and it's going to grow up here over the trestle table, up here and into the roof of the polytunnel. Beauty of that is it gets a lot of space underneath this trestle table where not much will grow in summer because it'll just be too shady. So I think it'll be great. It'll mean I can put plenty of water down for it. I can put a nice big halo down there to make the watering easier. And as I say, just around the edges, I can just pop in a few lettuces, which will enjoy the shade in this tunnel. So this bed down here was tatsoi and red pak choi on the end there. And we harvested that all through November, December, January and February, and then we put tatsoi and red pak choi back in again just because I had some ready and the bed was empty, and I never like to leave a bed empty. And there's a little bit of slug and snail damage, but not too much. Down the edges, the most important crop really are the beetroot, and beetroot down here as well. And once all this is harvested, this centre bit here, that's where early peppers are going to go. And those peppers are about 18 inches tall now, looking really nice. So I'll be really pleased to get those planted out, but we need much warmer temperatures, sort of up about 10 degrees centigrade at night, and we're nowhere near that at the moment. And then down here we've got tatsoi again. We've got radish down the centre. That radish is ready for harvest now. And again, beetroot down the outside. Same story here. When this is harvested down here in about May time, then again, early peppers will go in here, but the beetroot will stay in. The beetroot will stay in for quite a long time because it can get really big and still be absolutely first class eating quality. It's a total myth that beetroot gets woody when it's left to grow big. I think it's more to do with the speed at which it grows and how long it's been growing. And of course this is growing really fast, and so it will be really tender and sweet. So down here we had salad rocket, and again I just took that out this morning, and again we've got red kitten spinach in here, and it's going to be exactly the same story as the other bed. Right in the centre there, there's going to be a cucumber. It's going to be trained up a string here up past the edge and up into the roof. So this bed was lettuce all the way through winter, and it was all interplanted with salad onions, and you can see just a few salad onions left over, still not quite ready for harvest, and a few straggly lettuces left over, but mostly I'm replanting, and I'm replanting with lettuce again. I don't mind, lettuce following lettuce type of thing, that's no problem at all most of the time. And I've interplanted this with red barren main crop onions, and I just think onions are going to do well in a polytunnel, and I'm always looking for a crop that will do well in a polytunnel that doesn't need quite so much water as a lot of leafy greens, for example. I've never managed to grow anything like carrots successfully in here. Beetroot always gets annihilated by pests. So anyway, I have good success with alliums in here, so I'm going to give alliums a go. And as I said, I've just got 45 little onions, and they're interplanted, as I said, with lettuce. Of course, those lettuce will come out by mid-May. Tomatoes will go in the back here, where those early onions are. And again, those early onions, of course, will have come out in mid-May as well. And I'm hoping that this interplant works successfully. I'm pretty confident it will, because I don't think the onions will get any stress from the competition of the lettuces, provided the lettuces are out when the onions start to bulb. These onions will start to bulb in mid-May, and that's when the lettuce will be out and the tomatoes will be in. So that'll be good. Here, got the early celery. This is looking really nice. And next week, I'm just going to harvest another strip here of these salad onions and put more celery in there. And then about 9 celery plants is enough for my early crop. These are the ones we'll be eating late April, early May, and I'll leave them in the polytunnel until October, and then it'll come out, and obviously we'll have plenty of celery by then. So you can see I've still got all these red winter early onions at the back, nice big plants. They will go to seed though. You have to be aware when you do early onions like this that are nice and big, that are going to grow at a high temperature, almost certainly they'll go to seed. But because I'm harvesting them in May, I don't mind if they go to seed. I want to eat them in May, so that's no problem. Nothing wrong with onions that go to seed, apart from you can't store them for very long. So again, just a few straggly lettuces here, so all of these will go pretty soon. All this will get replanted. And then down here I've got garlic interplanted with lettuce, and this little bit here, these are the only lettuces that I've overwintered, and these are Roxy, and I love Roxy, and I love them so much that I'm prepared to sort of leave them in the ground rather than put my favourite spring varieties in. And I've got Riccia and a few other bits and pieces in here, another lettuce. Almost all of those I think are new ones that I sowed back in January, and obviously they've been in here for a couple of months now and looking pretty good. And I've just started putting potatoes in here, so these are Charlottes and these are Swift. I've just potted them on, so they were started off back at home in the conservatory in small pots, and then obviously buried in these pots, and it just gives them a bit of a head start. I think you get them maybe 3 weeks earlier by doing that. Same kind of story here with these, and these are Swift as well. So these are my overwintered carrots. I've got another 2 containers like this, and these are the ones we'll start eating in May. And these are Napoli, started 25th of October, and you can see they're growing really nice now, and they should make really great super sweet early carrots, quite a bit earlier than you can get them if you don't overwinter them. Pretty soon these will have to go outside because it'll get too hot in the polytunnel for them, I think, and they'll have to go up high because of carrot fly. April and May are the worst months for carrot fly, so absolutely critical to get them up high. I put them on top of my IBC tanks, well out of the way. So I've got lots of hanging baskets up here. For some reason I've lost a couple of lettuces here. It looks like stem rot. It has been ridiculously humid and wet here this March. I have never known anything like it, and as a result I have lost a few things to stem rot, but I'm not that worried about it. Everything's starting to grow now. Everything's a little bit behind where it normally is, 2 or 3 weeks behind, something like that. But anyway, some of the lettuces are doing really nicely. Starting to see some good growth on the strawberries. Some other lettuces, and these, all of these had lettuces in them over winter. Put lettuces in them again. They're really going to have tomatoes in them, but the tomatoes are only little plants at the moment. So whilst I wait for the tomatoes, I just have a quick crop of lettuce there. So when we get to summer, it'll be tomatoes all down here, early garlic all down here, early leeks down there, early celery down there, early onions down there, probably early leeks down there, and then down here cucumber, peppers, early peppers, cucumber, no containers, no hanging baskets, apart from just a few potatoes in that corner and a few potatoes in that corner. Obviously that shelf just slots down the back there out of the way, and that fleece obviously is taken out. But that means that when I'm sitting in here in my chair, I can relax because I won't have that much watering to do. Because in the past I've had hanging baskets in summer in here, and I've had lots of containers in here, and it's just too much work messing around watering it. I really just want to focus on watering these beds. And then in this bed, all those early alliums that I've put in, they will all be out by August, and I have another nice little window of opportunity, August and September, and I often can put in Asian greens at that time and have those fully grown and harvested and out of the polytunnel again, just in time to put all of my winter veggies in October. So that's 4 full successions, and of course loads and loads of interplants every year. Such a fun place to garden. So if you want to know more about growing in polytunnels or greenhouses or undercover in general, I recommend you take a look in my ebook down below, and you'll find a section all about growing in polytunnels and greenhouses, and there's more sections as well that you might be interested in, but I'll put links to those in the description down below. My name's Steve, this is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.